Off top, flag football was created during World War II in the 1940s. Play music.
This is the Domonique Foxworth Show.
Welcome to the Domonique Foxworth Show. I'm Domonique Foxworth, joined as usual by the great Charlie Kravitz. So apparently they were playing a lot of football and they were getting hurt. So they created flag football. And it's supposedly the first official flag football game was at Fort Meade, which is in Maryland. My dad was stationed there for a long time.
That's
a bit of football history for you. Yeah, I mean, flag football's on the mind. I'm on the final Foxworth family children's sports trip of the summer. So had we lost in the championship, that's sad. However, really happy that we got no more sports trips this summer.
Did you tell Declan you win or you learn?
I've never said that. I've never said that to him. It's I guess it's good advice, but nobody wants to hear that nonsense.
When I was about Declan's age and I would just take every single loss horribly, that was always the message. What did you learn? And I'd be like, that I suck.
There was it's nice. So we did Houston last week, and now we're up in New England. We ain't come anywhere near the championship in Houston. It's a little bit easier for the top level athletes to make it to the Houston tournament than the New England tournament. Whooping up on some Connecticut kids, taking out the trash with the Massachusetts boys. There was this Rhode Island team though that beat us in the championship. Yeah.
I'm just imagining Declan being guarded by a bunch of cement-footed Orlovskis.
I feel like Dad's kids though are really good athletes.
Oh no, he played in the NFL. Who am I to talk?
Fair point. Yeah. No, it's a bunch. When you said cement, I thought you were gonna say something about construction workers. I feel like just about everybody in New England has a gruff voice. I mean, a lot of people the tournament's at Harvard, so it's at Cambridge, so a lot of people are transplants, but you can hear the people who aren't and the people who are running this tournament. Oh, men, women, children, they all sound like they lay cement for a living.
I feel the level of toughness. They might put the pads on, different game.
I heard that said a bunch of times.
Did you
walking past teams down by 6 scores? We were hitting it was a little different. They would run out of the flag football. Man. I can't do a Boston accent. That was just a gruff old man. That wasn't the Boston. Can you do a Boston?
Of course.
All you're gonna do is say yard pop. You're not actually gonna do it real.
Is that Glendock Rivers? No, it's Domonique Foxworth. That's not Glendock Rivers.
Oh, yeah. That was so good. I don't know if it's good or not, but it sounded good. I would buy that. Oh, my gosh. We got real football to talk about. Tackle football. Not actually real football. We got real...
No real football.
No real football.
Everything but football. Guys who might not be playing football.
Yeah. They're all going to play, right? I think.
Yeah.
Micah and McLaurin, it's a lot of NFC East foolishness, and you're going to tell me that everybody should run their team like Howie Roseman since we're going to keep it in the East?
Don't 8 Mile me.
I got to. I did 8 Mile. I just forewarned you. Everyone that whenever I'm going to disagree because I think players get paid, and Charlie's no, I hate players making money.
I'm being gaslit. I'm being gaslit.
Howie Roseman. I love Howie Roseman. He's so great. I wish my team was.
Exactly. That you nailed it. And by the way, you made my point. Howie Roseman is so great. Howie would never. If you were a GM, follow that.
Oh man. All right. Well, I don't want to 8 Mile myself because I feel like there's some legitimate pushback to your.
Yeah.
If only everyone would act like a Howie strategy.
Well, let's go. That's more for the Terry McLaurin topic. Let's put that on the back burner for now because I do want to talk about Micah Parsons, which. That dropped. I know you've talked about it on TV. You've talked about it a little bit with Bomani on The Right Time. Listen to that podcast. It's a great podcast, but maybe give them 4 stars and us 5 stars and see if it pisses off Bomani.
If you give them a 4-star, then you're a hater.
Exactly.
You know the rules we give. Why would you say give them 4 stars? Everybody 5 stars on it. Ever doesn't have like a limit on stars. Give everybody 5 stars.
Because I'm
Except
a dog.
for Pablo.
World class hater.
Except for Pablo. Don't give him any stars until he unearths someone.
I've unearthed this secret document. It's a 4-page notes app. A 4-page notes app written by Micah Parsons, put on to Twitter. And let me tell you, Domonique Florio, the union doesn't want you to see this.
That's a quality. You're on fire with your impersonations today. That's a quality, Pablo. We kid because we love. You can give Pablo 5 stars too.
Oh yeah,
keep unearthing documents. Why are there documents in the earth? That's what I need to know for Pablo. Right? He's always digging up documents that are in the earth. You're not an archaeologist, man. You're a journalist or something like it. Why are things in the earth? You're not unearthing anything.
He loves natural herbs.
Fair point. All right, Micah Parsons. Pay the man the money.
Sorry.
Chapter closed. It's not that hard.
No.
Don't trade him. That's stupid.
Hold on. Let's go through. So we have updates here. Let's just go through because there are things that have changed since you talked about it on Friday. Micah Parsons put out his 4-page notes app, and this was trending there a little bit. You called this ahead of time that he might try and demand a trade, where I thought this is going to be the Jerry thing where he just gives him a contract the night before the season. Then we got a report from Diana Rossini, which was co-signed by Schefter, which said that he was considering drastic measures, including requesting a trade or severing his relationship with the team. And that made me like, ding, 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 ding. That sounded similar to Carson Palmer. Obviously, he was at a different stage of his career when he threatened to either retire or be traded from Cincinnati. I'm not comparing it to Trent Williams, who Washington misdiagnosed cancer for him when he refused to play for the team again. But it was language that is inconsistent with prior trade requests that we have seen. And so I thought, to me, I found it to be interesting, more significant, and the details he gave. I'm going to take Micah Parsons as being completely honest here because I don't know why he would lie about this. One of the important details he said was he wanted to get paid before Garrett and before TJ Watt. Both guys who were in trade speculation. Myles Garrett is obviously what people are referencing, being like, these trades aren't real. Like, you can always paper it over with money. And there's some differences here. Myles Garrett said it was about winning. It was about the fact that they were in a horrible position because of the Deshaun Watson contract. I mean, he didn't say it, but this was the implication, the implied part of it, that he wanted to win. And he was at a stage in his career, and he was 30 years old. Micah Parsons is coming off his rookie deal. He wanted to get paid early in a way that would get a deal done before the market was reset by those guys, which would actually be team friendly for a team that we were speculating over the last couple years. How are they going to spend their whole cap on Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, and Micah Parsons? 3 guys who are at the top of their league at their position, and what that is going to do for the team. Micah was trying to assuage that situation. It did not happen. He said he was really disrespected by the team, and he was demanding a trade. Since then, we saw CeeDee Lamb literally tweet something to the effect of, I'm paraphrasing here, not this again, stop disrespecting our guys. And we saw a bunch of Cowboys players change their social media avatars to pictures of Micah Parsons, which rebutted the things that were like, maybe he's not that popular in the locker room, the things that maybe he's difficult from his podcast, so he's not taking this seriously. The players don't think that. Since then, yesterday, Jerry Jones said, this is a part of negotiations. Cowboys fans, don't lose any sleep over this. So when you look at this, and you look at this trade request, the first thing I'm going to say to you on this one is, how seriously should we take this trade request as something that could actually happen?
You have to take it seriously. I think you brought up other examples, but it's impossible to bring up an example that feels accurate because it so rarely gets to this place for a guy like that. So I understand why generally we would dismiss trade requests, but we never really get a trade request from a guy at this level. I know you used the Garrett one. We all believe that one to be real, and then the money came through. So if you're trying to do this trade request to create leverage, I'm not sure how this creates any more leverage unless you're serious. I don't know if that makes sense, but the bluff trade request doesn't do anything. So you have to be serious about it, and I believe Mike is serious about it. The language that gets my attention, though, that needs some more clarification is like threatening to sever ties. Like, I don't even know what that means. It's just... I get you can't really. Your rights are owned. I guess you could stop showing up and start to incur the fine. But I guess it's just more aggressive language, like requesting a trade, demanding a trade. After that is severing ties. And I don't think that Micah can get any more serious with the language that he's using. So I think like Jerry has to take it seriously. And if I were Cowboys fans, or at least I would say Jerry's thing, as someone who occasionally has some stress and can't sleep as a result, people telling me don't lose any sleep, that for me. Like if I'm a Cowboys fan, I can't sleep right now because there is no trade package that seems realistic that would help you that would make you feel better about losing Micah Parsons.
That's one of the most interesting parts about this. I went to The Athletic and they posted a piece about potential trades for Micah Parsons, and a lot of them were, I think it was like Green Bay was one of them, was 2 firsts, 2 thirds, and Romeo Doubs type of thing. And what's interesting about this, he's 26 years old.
Yeah,
he is.
It's not Herschel Walker, guys. It's not Herschel Walker.
It's not Herschel Walker. It's also, the Herschel Walker trade's not happening again, for the record.
Right.
You're not getting full drafts and picks going out.
It seems like most front offices are a little more sophisticated than they were when the Herschel Walker trade built the Cowboys dynasty.
And we talked about this when they offered 3 first-round picks for Brian Burns at one point, and then that trade was turned down. People were speculating. I remember when we did our Myles Garrett pod trade breakdown type of thing with Kevin Clark, it was like, pay whatever. This guy is so good. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer. He's probably but Micah Parsons, he might not be as complete as Myles Garrett just because of the size component of it, but he is unbelievable. He's the exact type of guy you want. Like, you draft that guy in the first round. He's the best Cowboy in 30 years. He is the best Cowboy since Emmitt Smith. I just don't understand. This first extension, this is the easy one. And so to me, it's not even about money as much. Like, what the difference with this one is, like, this is about, like, they've flagrantly disrespected a player who has been, like, it's the second most important position in football. How do you stop the quarterback? The guy who can sack him. And you unearthed one of these guys, and this should be easy. So I don't understand, like, If this isn't just about money, it's not something that they can solve like in the next couple of days. Like, to me, I would take this as seriously as possible that he could be in a different uniform.
The reason why the idea of trading him just is so mind blowing is because you would only do it for draft picks, presumably a number of draft picks and maybe some talented guys. But what you're drafting is you're hoping that one of those draft picks turns into someone halfway as impactful as Micah Parsons. So like that's the thing about it and it's a problem created by your own owner and general manager. And so like I think one of the things you left out in talking about this was how Jerry believed that he had a deal worked out with Micah last March, which is just unorthodox. Trying to do a deal and lock it up without involving the agent in any way. It's just an unorthodox way to do it. I understand that Micah thought that the conversation was supposed to be about leadership, and then they somehow left with Jerry thinking they had a deal, and now Jerry's mad or not mad, but disappointed that Micah is not married to the deal that was on the table before, I guess.
Some of the details from that, I'm glad you brought that up. That's from the Todd Archer report from Friday that was posted on ESPN. That call, Micah Parsons was in Abu Dhabi without his agent, 12 hours away, and he gets on the phone with Jerry Jones, and Jerry Jones is like entrapping him to what he thinks is a verbal agreement to a deal when he is, I don't know if he was doing branded content or going on a trip or whatever, but to me that is like, that's hogwash. And Jerry Jones knows that's hogwash. I know that he is an old man, and I know that he is, in certain ways, operates different than any other business owner in the NFL cartel. But the concept of that, of trying to use that sort of power to get one over without talking to, you remember he's saying he doesn't talk to David Mulugheta. And now we have it reported from Micah that it's been radio silence from Stephen Jones also on this type of stuff. To me, that's the type of thing where you are not acting in good faith in that negotiation. If you're saying that the leadership talk is going to turn into a contract agreement when someone is on the phone on vacation, that's completely preposterous. And there's no way that Jerry Jones, in his heart of heart, if he's capable of still being honest with himself, believes that to be true.
I always go back to this, and I think it's probably a trap door that I use and I probably shouldn't use, is like Jerry Jones is just trying to create entertainment and create buzz and raise his franchise value. But you can't keep falling back on that when nobody else is playing this game. Like Micah doesn't seem to be participating in this game. No one else that's been involved in it. And it doesn't seem to be helping the team. The only way you could argue that it is helping the team is like they seem united. I know I use this often where I talk about there's always an us and there's always a them on the football teams, and you don't know where that divide is. And sometimes the divide is in the locker room. It could be the offense and the defense. There's an us and them. It could be the coaches. It could be the GM front office, or it could be the fans. In this case, it feels like everyone is galvanizing around Micah Parsons, including the fans. And Jerry has decided to make himself the them. And back to the negotiation part of this, even if he did come to some agreement with Micah back in March, there were deals signed since then.
Yeah.
Things change. And what I don't understand is why this negotiation is hard. This one is an easy one. This is the most easy one. He's as good as it gets at this position. You pay him $1 more, and he's young. He's younger than those other guys. You could argue that he deserves even more than that. I don't get what the holdup is and why the choice is to not talk because your feelings got hurt. Like, you've been in this business for long enough that, like, you would think that the person who would behave more maturely is the person who has been in this business, understands how this works, not the player who's like, look, that deal is gone now. Now you got a new deal. You pay me what I deserve because I'm the best at my position and I'm available now.
It's agreed. And it's also like, I just can't get over, like Micah said this in his statement. I no longer want to be held to closed door negotiations without my agent present. Like, we don't mock, but we criticize NFL players who don't have agents in this type of situation, or don't have someone who's like a serious person representing their client's best interest. And Jerry Jones is trying to take advantage of that when Micah has representation. And whether or not, to me, whether or not that's just like, that's BS or not, like, to me, I would be livid.
It's so rare when you have these negotiations that all of the opinions are on the player side. There's different times, different percentages break down in different ways. But by and large, I think the players don't always have the advantage of like public support, fan support, media support. It seems like everyone sees it one particular way except for Jerry Jones. And in the other reports, they were saying like Micah's hanging out with the quarterbacks and the running backs in practice and not wearing his jersey. It just seems like an unnecessary charade that's not helping this team get better and doesn't make any sense. It's just about Jerry's feelings or about Jerry wanting to do these player to owner deals that he said he's done in the past.
I agree. And I have a few follow-up questions before we move on. The first one, I was looking at Chris Long, friend of the program. He put out a video on Friday afternoon about Micah Parsons, and he made the point that the Cowboys are not going to win a Super Bowl or be real contenders while Jerry Jones is still running the team. Is that how you feel based on how he has run the organization over the last couple of years?
I mean, it's impossible to argue otherwise. Like, since he ran Jimmy out, it hasn't really panned out. The bad part is they've had plenty of teams that were championship caliber. So, like, I hesitate to go as far as Chris will go, but they don't look like they're building something now, and it doesn't look like it's in the near future. I think if there was a chance to do it, it feels like the window might have closed. And it's certainly not. I actually think this team this year has a chance of being like good, and maybe beyond that if Dak stays healthy the whole year and has an MVP caliber season. Like, that's the thing about this conversation. We're going to have the Terry conversation also, is these are teams that are serious about making a run. And you could argue that there's more legitimate argument in the Terry case. There's no argument. If you're serious about making a run, honestly, if you're not serious about making a run right now, there's no argument for not paying a 26-year-old All-Pro. It really is at a premier position.
I completely agree. And the second part of this is, I should expand on this part of what Chris's point was, which was when he talked about it, he was like, if they're going to win, it has to happen through the draft because they continue to mismanage contract situations. And they're no longer a free agent destination because of the mismanaged contract situations, the Jerry Jones show, etc. And to me, I hear that, and that really connects with the thoughts I've had about this team, which is you look at like prestige organizations in American sports, and you think of the Cowboys, you think of the Yankees, you think of the Los Angeles Lakers. And we're seeing that start to change. Like Juan Soto left the Yankees. The Lakers have had, they got LeBron. So like and now they have Luka Doncic. But to me, I can't imagine someone leaving the Los Angeles Lakers. Like you get there, your life is made. You're the superstar on the Lakers. You're the superstar on the Cowboys. Is this a sign that the Cowboys are no longer the glamour franchise? Seriously, I know this is like a generic question. No longer the glamour franchise that we thought they were.
No. I mean, football's a little different because you said it's not a free agent destination. It is if they paying. Like it would be a free agent destination if they were paying the right money for the guys that they want. And I don't think that the Cowboys being determined a glamour franchise is for the same reasons that other franchises are glamour franchises in other sports. I'm not sure. And I don't know, like, how long would the Lakers have to go without being a real contender for a generation of people to not be more interested in the Lakers than just about anyone else. The same thing could be said for the Yankees. Like, how long do the Yankees have to lose before we're like, who cares what the Yankees are up to? That's the same question for the Cowboys. The Cowboys, I think that them being, because we've seen it, their stretches of being bad, they still have a lot of attention because people enjoy laughing at them not being good and them being mediocre. Like, it just feels like the Cowboys have this spot in the American sports like mind that is not going to be easily removed, even with the mismanagement. And I think this is like the mismanagement like adds to the soap opera that makes this franchise perpetually interesting.
But is that for us or the players? I mean this from the player side too.
So for the players, yeah, I think that this is where football is different from some of these other sports. Is, of course, if there are certain players, the type of players that we're thinking about that could have. This is why it's so interesting. The Micah thing is what you're saying is high value, super impact franchise players. They don't come up like that. They just like, yeah. So like, that's the point. The question you're asking me is one that's like never really going to be tested.
Yeah. Because
no one messes around with guys like Micah Parsons and allows them to go all the way to being true free agents to where they can make a decision to where they want to go. They just don't come up. It happened. Like Kirk Cousins is not even that high of a level, but like he was, from recent memory, one of the like most valuable free agents, like when he went to the Vikings.
Yeah.
Just doesn't happen. I guess go back further to Peyton Manning. It's just not a thing that happens often.
He was in his mid-30s off of major neck surgery. Right. Yeah.
And then he went bald.
Yeah, we're gonna cannibalize future content if we go back and start talking about Deion Sanders and Reggie White.
Oh yeah, we did.
But
that was the birth of free agency, though. People I know what they were doing back then.
That's exactly right. So I want to put a button on this. So if you were advising Micah Parsons, how firm would you be on this? Would you be like, we're never playing another snap for this dog water organization, or how willing are you that? Because we saw this with Lamar Jackson. You remember Lamar demanded a trade, and obviously owners around the league essentially colluded around even presenting a trade offer for him. I would be surprised but not shocked if NFL ownership was bold enough to take the same stance, take the same collusive stance together on Micah Parsons. But how is this something that can be legitimately papered over with paper, or is this something where this is now a thing where he should really stand on business and not want to be a Cowboy moving forward?
I mean, you said, how would I advise him?
Yeah.
This is something that I would not advise on because it feels personal. And if I were his agent or I was someone in his corner, I would just show him the deals. Like, is this what you want? And if he's serious about this, if there isn't a price that would allow him to continue to coexist with Jerry Jones, then you stand on it, as you said, and you wait and wait and wait until they break. But I mean, if I'm his agent, let's get that 3%. They're gonna give us the real deal eventually. Like Jerry, I mean, to Jerry's point, he made this point multiple times. Like, it's not like I don't pay guys. He ends up paying all of these guys the top of the market money. He just makes them sweat for it, which is annoying and frustrating, I'm sure.
Yeah. And then if this trade were to happen, if there is if somehow we're a month from now and we're doing an emergency podcast and it's like Micah Parsons has just been traded to the LA Rams or so. I'm just making this up. At that
anybody
point,
with a quarterback, any team with a quarterback, immediately becomes a legitimate, like a Super Bowl contender if you add Micah to your team.
That's definitely. But to me, it's like the next question on this is it a watershed moment for the league? If a guy coming off his rookie contract is actually able to force his way to a different destination, not even to his choosing, but force his way out of a team, rather than having to deal with what could happen
it'll
here.
be some version of NFL player empowerment that is more NBA like that we hadn't seen before. If trades for guys like that actually come to fruition, like because of obviously the 5th-year option and then the franchise tag, and also just the level of violence in the sport where guys want to lock down that guaranteed money as soon as possible, which is so unlikely in the length of careers. If you can play for 15, 20 years like a basketball player, like the leverage that you have to threaten to be a malcontent, and they just have more power and are more influential in the organization. Like Micah showing up to practice in a bad mood is very different than a star in NBA team showing up to the building in a bad mood. It throws the franchise off in a different way. So if Micah's able to pull this off, if he's serious about trying to make this happen, if he's able to pull it off, it might be something 10 years from now that we can do a podcast on about how this was a milestone that changed the way that players behaved in the NFL.
It's gonna be so funny. 10 years from now, we're gonna just be old and gray and yelling about monopsonies and cartels.
That's all we do, baby. Yeah. That's us. That's the show.
We're the best.
I mean, I don't disagree.
Man,
speaking of the best,
yeah, shout out to the Giggly Squad. They're the best.
No, they're the best, but not the best.
That's kind of an.
It's just an inside joke that no one else gets but you and me.
Yeah, someone will drop in a soundbite of that video, which is like,
okay, don't be the best.
All right, let's move on to Terry McLaurin, which is the one that I've been putting off this discussion because it hurts my little heart. So the background here is we talked about this, and I think you and I were both confident that this was something that would get handled and Terry McLaurin would be paid, and it would be an amicable situation between the Commanders and Terry McLaurin because he's been a model Commander player for his entire career, has been largely not supported by good quarterback play, good coaching, good organizational stability until the last year with Josh Harris and Jaden Daniels. Well, since the last time we talked about this, he's formally requested a trade. He is still at Commanders camp. There's videos of him hugging Jaden Daniels' mom, talking to Josh Harris, and he gave a press conference being like, this is not about personal stuff. I have no issues with the team. This is about business. The sides seem very far apart for him to get this way because this is someone who has been nothing but the term good soldier for this team. How seriously do you take this trade request? Same question.
Don't try to professionalize this as if our text conversations don't involve emotional instability. And let's be honest,
I'm not answering the question.
No, you tried to ask the question like that's the most interesting part. That's not the most interesting part to me. The most interesting part to me is how quickly you and all your Commanders fans buddies went from loving everything and just being so excited to be out of the doldrums to now like counting the salary cap impacts and thinking that maybe you could get Terry McLaurin for cheap. Like,
it's not cheap. We just don't want to. I just didn't want to pay him as much as Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase.
So I think this conversation, to me, how real are the trade demands? Like, I take everyone's trade demands and requests pretty seriously because
then take it where you were. You asked the questions, old man.
I'm answering the question that you asked. I take it seriously. Will it get done? It seems like this feels more likely that it's going to get done at some point.
The trade or the contract?
No, not the trade.
The contract.
The contract. they're both negotiating in public a little bit by putting out there what they want. I'm not sure how serious Terry McLaurin is about wanting some similar deals to the top of the league young receivers. Like, that's a lot to ask for. But I think the fundamental question here, what it boils down to for me, is how serious are the Commanders about making a run at a championship this year or next year? Because there are no other answers for them at that very important position of receiver available at this moment for a quarterback who throws the deep ball well to have a deep threat like Terry McLaurin. There are no other answers. So whatever Terry McLaurin wants, you're going to try to get it down, but you kind of have to pay them if you're serious about making a run this year. And I think that's where you and I disagree, and that's where this gets confusing, because you can compare them to all the receivers you want and say, oh, well, he ain't this good. He's not this young. He's not this guy. Y'all don't have a shot at none of those guys, those names that you're going to name. You can't get them. So if you're serious, if you're not serious about making this run now, then trade Terry McLaurin and get some young guys and build up for a run a couple years from now. That's a reasonable strategy. If you're serious about making this run, you kind of got to pay him. And maybe you don't pay him exactly what he's asking for, but you got to pay him at least what DK is getting, right?
I hate what you're doing to me, because what you're doing is you're trying to paint me as a fan hater and like someone who's going to have to answer. Yeah, I know what you're doing. I know what you're doing. You're going to make me an anti-player, pro-team guy.
I'm not. You're a pro-team guy. It's okay. You're a fan. There's nothing wrong with being a pro-team guy if you're a fan. I didn't say you were anti-player.
I'm defending Micah Parsons. Meanwhile, you and Jerry and the good old boys are hanging out on the bus.
I would never get on that bus. I'd be so scared to be on that bus.
I'll tell you one thing. It's like that bus is like its own ayahuasca retreat. You come out a different person, except for it's the opposite of enlightenment.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, I just assume that whatever he can get away with, I can't. I don't have whatever advantages he has, so I would not want to be participating in the same things. Because my excuse, I don't have a folksy accent and $1 billion to buy me out of tough spots. Anyway, back to Terry McLaurin. I don't think you're an anti-player. I'm not paying you as an anti-player guy. I understand the fans' position of wanting to have the best roster possible. I understand, like, that's the real genius of the salary cap, is it makes all fans be like, hey, we can't pay him that much, which is sickening to me.
What I think is just a logical fallacy of this is that it's not even about not paying Terry McLaurin. Paying what DK gets? Yeah, great. Let's just follow that. Like, yeah, DK's a little bit younger. Terry McLaurin's been healthier. I don't think his game is going to age horribly. I would love it. You've brought this up on several pods. Like, stack the guaranteed money so it's the next 2 years and you can get out of it when he's 32 and everyone's happy about it. That's great. This was the thing of like, we don't know that much about Terry McLaurin. We really don't compared to other star receivers. And so when we had the reports that he wants to be paid a similar average salary to CeeDee Lamb, Jamar Chase, and Justin Jefferson, we're all like, whoa. That's different than what we thought, because we thought that the good faith of this is getting paid similar to Amon-Ra, DK Metcalf, that tier of receivers, which is Brandon Ayuk. These are excellent players, but closer to what Terry McLaurin is. And the not wanting to pay him that money is not anti-Terry McLaurin. It's scar tissue from being a Commanders fan, where we have my entire life has been winning the offseason by paying really stupid deals for high name value players. And so it's not even like it's like being like, oh my God, are we about to Bruce Smith, Adam Carricker, Deion Sanders this again, and somehow pay far above the market rate for a player who's excellent but might not change it? About being serious, like, yeah, we have to be serious now. We have the best quarterback in the conference, and it's not close. Sorry, Rams fans, Packers fans, Eagles fans. Like, when you have someone like Jaden Daniels who's able to carry a team, like, let me put it this way. Dan Quinn gets hired, people mock it. Cliff Kingsbury gets hired, people mock it. You put Jaden Daniels in that situation, and it is kerosene on a tiny little fire where it's exploded. Now anything is possible because he's a player who was so good as a rookie. You're really comparing him to Andrew Luck and Dan Marino and that tier of guys. And he's coming into this offseason saying he's night and day better. And your offense, yes, of course there are the people who are like, this is going to regress. He's skinny. His ribs could get hurt again. He's not going to go 20 for 26 on fourth downs. But like this, you're serious now.
I'm going to cut you off. That was incredible. You're right about everything that you said. But now we're going to get into something that I love to do, and it's going to annoy you, but I'm going to force you to answer it. We're doing percentage talks. We're doing some probabilities, because this is what it all comes down to. Because when we start making these broad assumptions and projections, it underlines, or underneath that is some version of us believing some level of some probability. And so in this case, what is the probability in your mind that Jaden Daniels can have a season like he had last year without Terry McLaurin?
Can or will?
That's the point of the probability. It's like it's 100% probability that he can.
Yeah.
What are the probabilities that he will have that season without Terry McLaurin? Remember, his best skill, as you and I both agree, is throwing the deep ball.
Oh yeah,
and
he can feather that in there.
So what are the chances? Because that also has to factor in, is like if this in any way slows the progression of your quarterback. So let's do a little probability talk. Percentage chance, man.
It is a 54% chance that no Terry McLaurin, he can be as good as rookie Jaden Daniels. It is a 100% chance that if you sign him, he'll be even better.
So why are you messing around with this? In the average salary stuff, to me, is like.
Can you explain this? Why this is BS?
Like this is a little silly to me that we're talking about that, because if all you want is which I don't mean it that way, because that seems insulting. I understand for a player like Terry McLaurin, who has been underappreciated for much of his career, having your average annual salary be comparable with the top guys in the league could mean some level of respect, and you want that. But if I'm Peters, I'm going to call him up and say, hey, we can get your average salary up. That's not a problem. I'm going to tack on some years on the end of this. We'll give you a big bonus. These years on the end of it are fluff. I'll end up cutting you before that. You'll be a free agent. You get paid again. We'll bump up your average salary, but it doesn't actually impact our cap in any way. Like, what really matters in all of these deals is like the guaranteed money. Mm-hmm. And I think that guaranteeing him somewhere close to 35 a year, which we talked about before,
for
35 a year for 2 years is 70 guaranteed. I can guarantee you 70. That's an incredible guarantee. I can guarantee you 70, and we have the chance, and we'll put up a big number at the end that increases the average to make you comparable with these other receivers. But more than likely, we're going to either renegotiate with you after 2, which is fine. That could be great. You keep balling, we'll renegotiate a number that you like, or we'll release you after 2 and you can go find someone else who's trying to make a run and is in a position to pay big money again for you to make a deal. Like that, to me, that's why this deal feels like kind of easy to me to figure out. Both of these deals seem really easy to figure out to me.
I agree. And to your point about 70, like Brandon Ayuk is at 76, Amon-Ra's at 77, 76 and a half. Or 77.
That's fine. Let's go 77. We'll pay you more than them, guarantee it, and we'll give you a high number at the end that we don't intend on playing. It forces both of our hands, which is a present for both of us. Actually, present for you. You'll either become a free agent or we'll renegotiate, which means that we're going to guarantee you even more money over a longer period of time so that we can spread out this cap hit. Like it's easy on the outside. I guess it's much more difficult on the inside to get it done because he's still probably hoping to get 3 of them things guaranteed, maybe.
Yeah, and this is where it's tough, too, because you have CeeDee Lamb. Oh, so the top guys are all on 4-year deals. CeeDee Lamb is 4 years, $136 million, $100 guaranteed. Justin Jefferson's $110 guaranteed, 4 years, $140 million. And then Jamar Chase is $112 guaranteed for 4 years, $161, which is the most ever by a non-quarterback. And so, like, I guess the real question we don't have the exact reporting on is the guaranteed money. But if he wants to be in that realm where it's this 4 years, 9-figure guarantees, that's where it gets really icky and sticky because, you know, A.J. Brown's at 84, DJ Moore's at 81, and that's where it's tough. Like, Terry McLaurin's a better player than DJ Moore.
He's a number 1, which,
and
to
me, he has a more valuable skill set, too. With the explosives, where it's like it's really tough. And then you go down to, like, you know, some of these contracts haven't aged that well, whether it's Devonta Adams, Tyreek Hill, Cooper Kupp, Brandon Ayuk, Jalen Waddle. Those ones are, and obviously you don't pay off of that.
Okay, time out. This, I know, give me 20. I know you're not here yet, but you're going to be here in a couple years, because talking about contracts aging well or not aging well is the same thing that pisses you off about stat nerds who start talking about all these obscure acronyms and talk about how, well, he's actually not that good because that doesn't mean anything. This is the same thing. I don't give a how your contract ages.
Yeah.
We're trying to win a championship. Do championships age well? They age great. It's essentially the same.
Not in Daryl Morey's eyes.
It's the same as the Rams F them picks thing. It's like, it's really hard to win a championship. You worrying about a contract aging well is tantamount to saying, oh, we can't pay a running back, and letting the Ravens end up with Derrick Henry because everyone else in the Eagles end up with Saquon Barkley because everyone else like, but no, running backs do not deserve this money. Like, it's the same thing. You'll be there in a couple years.
I've been swayed. I have a new thing now. The new...
Your new complaint with sports media?
Do you want to hear my new football guy, what really is grinding my gears?
Do we need a segment for Charlie hates on sports media?
It's all of these people who are they're depth chart watchers. And like, they think that I can't look on Our Lads and see who the left guard is for a team. Oh, congratulations! You know JC Latham's win rate. Like
we need to name all of these different people in sports. I mean, not name them literally, but like give them a category name so we can call them out. And we have to put ourselves in it too. Yeah. What do you consider yourself? I don't know. We'll work on it.
Pragmatist savant?
Yeah, no. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But I know that you always have someone in your mind when you're starting to get yelling at me about stuff that I haven't done. I'm like, he's mad at one of these sports media nerds.
It's all these people who conflate the fact they're trying to tell us they watch tape, and really they just... I got Google too, buddy.
I mean, just because they might watch tape and have Google.
I know, but the way they say they know ball is just listing players. Looking at depth charts.
I know ball. I know who the backup is over here and over there. Yeah, that's not a good move.
And so what you got to do is you hit them with that with a text response with that GIF of Snoop Dogg who's like, who? Every single time.
This is the problem. This is where my lack of activity on Twitter gets in the way, because I would snitch on you. I would name names if I know who you were talking about, but I have no idea who you're talking about. But I imagine, I can imagine a few guys.
Oh man, I love the Googlers. The Googlers. Well, so we've got the Googlers, which are just like depth chart voyeuristic people.
Yeah, we got I mean, it's not all stats nerds, but it's like the obscure stat nerds.
And the obscure stat nerds who wait for something to be like incredibly obvious until they tell you the stats back it up, where it's like, it'll be like,
hey guys, we watch somebody, we watch Saquon get busy. Hey guys, you know what? The stats back it up.
It's like, or it's like after last year, people are like, Lamar Jackson is accurate, and let me tell you why. And I'm like, oh, thanks, dude. Whatever breakdown you're gonna give me, I don't need it.
But you might want to, they start telling you, accuracy and completion percentage for inside and out of the pocket. Yeah. Like, hey, I watched all 17 of them. I saw the same games that you saw, that your numbers see.
I got one last one.
One last one. Okay, so we got the Googlers.
The last one.
We got the obvious stat nerds, and the last one is...
It's the Charles Xaviers. It's they sit there in their little nerd chair and they watch film, and they're like, I can tell you exactly what the quarterback was thinking on this play. This is why he went through this, right? It's like, okay, man.
The Charles Xavier. Oh God, Professor X is. I like this. This is going to be fun. I now know what I'm going to do for the rest of the week is try to figure out who the archetype for all these are, and then we can call people out. We just need to start a whole movement where people are calling everybody out when they do this and just gift them with a Professor X and Cerebro.
Yeah, can't you just be a normal person and watch sports and try and think about who's good and why?
No. It's such a... Oh gosh, I hate that I like you because I would rather hate this person than like this person that you are, but I actually like you. It's annoying. You and Pablo, top tier people that I hate that I actually like. All right. Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to put you in the category with journalism's archaeologist Pablo Torre.
I am doing journalism.
It's the new version of journalism for the new century.
If I
can't
ever
do the Pablo voice.
If I ever get nominated for an award, which I won't, but if I do,
if I'm ever all the time,
there's nothing better than being award nominated and just saying it in the Pablo voice. Insofar as I can leverage it.
These are inside jokes. Oh, gosh. All right. Thank you, Charlie. You're on fire today. Congratulations. Go take a nap. Thanks to you, all the great producers, and I'm out. We out. All of us out.
This is the Domonique Foxworth Show.